हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् यच्छराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ वृषभं च शनीनां विश्वरूपमदाभ्यं बृहस्पतिर्वरेण्यम् ॐ तद्विष्णोः परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिवीव चक्षुरातनम् ॐ ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं क्लीं हसौ जगत्सूर्यै नमः। ॐ श्लीं ह्रीं ज्योतिर्ब्रह्माय नमः। Can everybody say after me Hare Ram Krishna 3 times? Om Hare Rama Krishna Hare Rama Krishna Hare Rama Krishna. Okay, welcome back. Some of you haven't done your homework. I came late, more late than ever, to give you more time to finish your homework. I was actually trying a different road. Somebody told me I always take exit 38 on 495 and take route 38 all the way. Yeah, somebody told me about the Lowell connector. Yeah, I got lost a little bit on Merrimack Street. I think I missed the Bridge Street, so I went around and finally I found it. It does seem shorter. Yeah, even with my extra miles, because I got lost, still it is less. Anyway, we will go through the homework. What does that sound mean? Okay. Yeah, sure. You can do whatever you.
I just wanted to share that one of the class predictions and your predictions came out through that in my case I found the job.
Oh, congratulations. Congratulations to the class that your prediction came true, and congratulations to Vijay that your prediction came true and also you got a job. Congratulations. So we will go through the homework today. Whoever has submitted, we will go through their work. Why are you laughing? Did you submit? I didn't. That's why you are laughing. Okay, let me open the mail. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can ask. Actually, a couple of announcements before I forget, because I always forget. If I don't say it at the beginning, I will probably just forget saying it. There is no class next week. I will be in Washington DC and I will be in Seattle. Actually, on Sunday I will be in Seattle. On Saturday I will be in Washington DC. So there is no class next week. And the week after that, again there is no class. Actually, is there no? No, yeah, but maybe. Yeah, we will probably just cancel the class. So we will not have a class for another 3 weeks. Next week I will not be here. The week after that, October 8th and 9th weekend, I will be here, but we have a Chandi Homam at my house. Actually, that is the other thing I wanted to mention. If anybody is interested in Chandi Homam, it's being done by Swami Sadasivam, who came from the Kalikamba temple of Chennai. He is the son of the guru of Sri Bhairav Sundaram, who is a priest at the temple. And I can share his chart also with you at a later time. He has a beautiful chart. He's a very accomplished spiritualist, and he is here. And he himself suggested that we should do Chandi Homam at our house, and so we very gratefully accepted it. So he's doing that ritual Chandi Homam on Saturday, October 8th. So any of you have any interest, please do consider. Just send me a mail. pvr@charter.net. Send me a mail. You're most welcome. It's in the morning. If you start in the morning and by the time it's over, probably it will be early afternoon or so. And I don't know the exact time when we are going to start it. I will I'll tell you later, but around maybe 8, 9. I'm not exactly sure, but sometime in the morning on October 8th. So if you are interested, you are most welcome to come for the home. And because of the home, I think I'll have a lot of people, so I'll probably not be able to come on Sunday. I'll have a lot of people coming from other places also. So I'll spend time with them. So October 8th, there is no class. October 9th, there is no class. And the week after that, of course, we have the big workshop that you guys are now organizing. So basically, apart from all of you guys, probably there will be 7 or 8 guys from outside, and of course the teachers. There will be a couple of teachers who are coming from outside. So it will be maybe around 20 people or so. That's probably 20-25 people maximum. But it's an opportunity to interact with other people and also interact with other teachers. And what I want to say is, feel free to ask questions. If somebody says one of the teachers, including me, says something stupid, feel free to corner them and ask them questions and prove that Boston students are worthy. But at the same time, I'm not saying be egoistic, but feel free to ask questions. It's not necessary that you should accept anything in a dumb fashion. So you guys are now capable of asking some good questions. You have some background, so feel free to ask questions and make sure that it's fun. And the week after that, will it be October 22?
Yes.
33. So on October 23, we will again meet after 3 weeks. But we will meet before that. Maybe for Chandy home and also definitely for the workshop. So when we meet, probably we will move on to a new topic. Yes,
I sent mail last week on...
Don't start the cornering from now. Start it in the workshop. I said corner. Ask questions and corner. Start it on October 15, not today. Yeah.
Just practice it.
Yes, go ahead.
An atheist, what is the dominant thing in the chart?
Who?
For an atheist who doesn't believe in God, no nothing. Is
Yeah.
there anything that I can...
Yeah, I saw you met. You met that atheist. See, you said Rahu. Is Rahu. Should Rahu be dominant in the chart? That is definitely a possibility. But the thing you have to keep in mind with Rahu is a very tricky planet. Both Rahu and Ketu, those two planets can show, they cover extremes. They cover a whole spectrum of people. Actually not a whole spectrum, but two extremes in the spectrum of people. So if Rahu is predominant in a chart, he can show somebody who is highly spiritual. Not only spiritual, but very much into mysticism, occult, etc. Somebody who really believes, not only believes, but tries to go to extremes to find out why, what, etc. So he can, on one extreme, Rahu can show that kind of people. On the other extreme, he can show people who don't believe in God at all, who only believe that this material world that they can see, hear, and smell is the only world. They don't believe that there is anything else. And if you talk to them about God, they will just laugh and go away, like the friend, like the person that you are writing about. So those kind of people also can be shown by Rahu. So if his chart has a predominant influence of Rahu, it depends on which nakshatra Rahu is in, who are having influence on Rahu, which planets are having influence. So depending on all those factors, it can be either extreme. But if you met an atheist, somebody that you know to be an atheist, probably you will see a strong Rahu influence in his chart. And also, Jupiter is the planet who shows the wisdom, the connection to the God. He's the God. He's the teacher of the gods within us. So there should be considerable afflictions to Jupiter in the chart if somebody doesn't believe in God, because Jupiter shows the godliness, belief in God, respect of tradition, etc. And if Jupiter is really weak in a chart, that can also show atheism. So look for the strength of Rahu in the chart and the weakness of Jupiter. But you said that you didn't have his chart, right?
No, I don't
You
have
just
to
met
talk
him.
to talk to him, and
Yeah.
that's what I thought. Maybe Rahu is very strong and Jupiter is very bad.
Something like that is also possible, yeah.
And
And also more than Rasi chart. Rasi chart is a good chart. But more than Rasi chart, look at the Navamsha. Vimshamsha also, but first Navamsha. Vimshamsa shows upasana, the worship you do of God, how you worship various gods, how you try to become God, how to try to rise from who you are to who you should be. So that is Vimshamsa. But Navamsa is the dharma, the inner existence of a person. Rasi is the outer existence, the physical existence. But Navamsa is the inner core. What forms your sense of duty, sense of who you are. So if somebody has a strong belief that there is no God, I am the God, or Bill Gates is the God, or whoever has money is the God. If somebody has those strong feelings, their dharma is in a slightly different from what we all consider to be dharma. So Navamsa will have some strong combinations in such a person's chart. So also look at Navamsa. And one more simple thought is, if somebody is an atheist, somebody says that he is an atheist, he doesn't believe in any particular form of God, still he may not really be, we tend to look at things as good and bad. And just because somebody doesn't believe in God the way we all do, it doesn't mean he's a bad person. If you actually question him, if he actually questions himself, he may realize that he also believes in a God. And his God is not personal. Maybe his God is impersonal. Just speaking truth, doing good to people. If he considers that to be God, even though he doesn't use the word God because he thinks there is no God, if he considers those to be good qualities and tries to follow them, he is not really an atheist. He does have a concept of God. You see what I am saying? So if somebody is like that, see, in other words, where I am coming from is, Parashara said, don't teach astrology, Jyotish, to an atheist. So if somebody doesn't believe in a formal concept of God where God is a person, but he believes in goodness, inherent goodness being God, I will still not consider him to be an atheist, and I will still happily teach him astrology. But if somebody does not have any such concept of something beyond materialism, something that you should strive to get, if somebody doesn't have such a concept, if materialism, getting more material comfort, getting a better fridge, better car, better TV, better house, these are the only pursuits for him in life, he doesn't have something higher, a higher pursuit, then to me he is an atheist. Such a person should not be taught astrology. He will only abuse astrology if it is, because he doesn't believe in any higher virtues, higher ideals.
Also, since you said that GPS was that and take a Ketu in the second house.
Yeah.
Immediately, if Rahu also has a quality that the voice can be very rough and bad.
If Rahu is in the second house, more than the Vak, the dictums given in classics are related to the kind of food he takes, how the person dies, etc. If Rahu is in the second house in somebody's chart, like you said, the speech will be very clear. Not only clear, but it will be sometimes very harsh also. But more than that, there is a danger of being poisoned if Rahu is in the second house. Basically, second house malefics are Marakas. Any malefic in the second house is a killer. And if there are other indications also for Rahu being a killer, like him being in the third from Arul Lagna, is it possible? No, it's not possible. Or him being in the 8th house from Arul Lagna, or being the third lord from Arul Lagna, or something like that. If there are other Marakatvas of Rahu in the chart, along with being in the second house, when the person finally dies, it can be due to some kind of poison, some kind of eating bad food poisoning, or directly being bitten by a snake. Some kind of poisoning is likely. So such a person, he should be careful with what he eats, stay away from snakes, etc. Stay away from poisonous material, etc. Any other questions? I think Mitna Ramakrishna Rao was the first one to send homework, right? Or was there a mail before that? I think he was the first one. Okay. So let us check his. So we will check a few homeworks depending on the time we have. I don't think I have his chart. No? Can you give us the data? Is it in the mail? October 21, 1968. October, happy birthday 1 month ahead. October 21, 1968. 6:31 p.m. 1831. Where? Prabdatur. I remember making this chart.
Yes,
I think I last.
I have it. Okay. Because it's not in India.
You had a crash at your computer.
Yeah, maybe.
At that time,
When I replaced, I copied all the charts. Maybe I was using, when we saw your chart, I was using somebody else's computer. Maybe. Okay, October 21, 1968, 6:31 p.m. Indian Standard Time, Prabdatur, India. Those of you who subscribe to SJC Boston without any hyphen, SJC Boston Yahoo group can find the data in one of the mails on the list. Let me save it. Vitnala Ramakrishna Rao. Okay. So I asked just one event, but he is one of those students who overdoes the homework. So he took 3 events and justified them. So we will go through them. Event 1, I'm not finding fault. It's good. You did so because of you. 2 people do not have to do their homework. You can pick, and they will be exempted because of you. You need 3 people's homework. Oh, only one?
No, I wrote that I made mentioning only for event 1.
Okay. I didn't read the mail. Okay. So he did only 1 event, but he gave 2 events. If somebody among you doesn't know their chart, you can work on his chart. Yeah. Okay. The event he analyzed is his mother fell seriously sick on July 19, 2005, recently. So his mother was seriously sick on July 19, 1995. Let me do one thing. Let me just save it. Okay. So let us see the chart of the last year. So go to Dashas, go to other Dashas, go to Sudarshana Chakra Dasha. Make it of D12 because we are looking at parents, and D12 is the chart for seeing parents, anything relating to parents. And the Dasha running from 2004 October 21 till 2005 October 22. The Dasha is that of Libra, Leo, Scorpio. Was it a sickness that stayed just for a while and then went 2 months? So let us, instead of looking at a monthly chart, let us look at annual chart like we are doing, because if she was sick for a couple of months, it's a serious event as far as that year is concerned. So it should show up in the annual chart. So let's look at annual chart. You know why I asked how long the sickness was? Because if it was a 1 week sickness, it may not be that clearly visible in the annual chart. It may not be the theme of the year. It may not be an important event during the year. At the end of the year, when you look back and say, what happened during this year? It may not really be at the top of the list. In that case, the annual Dasha may not show it. But if you focus on the particular month during which that week came, this was a big event during that month. So it should very prominently show up during that month's chart. So I wanted to see if I wanted to decide whether to look at a year, focus on a year or a month or a period of 2.5 days. That is why I asked how long the sickness was. So because it's a couple of months, let us look at the annual, let us look at the Mahadasha instead of Antardasha. So let us look at the entry chart. First let us make it D12, because we can also use the natal chart. Let us see the entry chart of this period, and the Dasha is based on the Lagna Chakra, it is Libra Dasha. Based on the Chandra Chakra, the moon based chart, it is Leo Dasha. Based on Surya Chakra, the sun based chart, it is Scorpio Dasha. So these are the Dashas running. So if you want to see what he does relating to parents, how he acts, you should see the first one, Lagna. If you want to see how he feels, whatever is happening to his parents, how he perceives it, how he feels about it, how he reacts to it. To see that, we use moon. Moon is the mind, how you see things. And finally sun, this is the world, this is the Vishwatma. So to see what the world does, what the God does, to him relating to his parents, we use the Scorpio. So to see the fact that his mother became sick, the first thing that we will see is the Surya Chakra. And then we will see the Chandra Chakra to see how he reacted to it, how he felt about it, what kind of impact it had on him, emotionally, mentally and otherwise. So first let us look at Scorpio. The Dasha running during that particular year is Scorpio. To see mother during that period, what do we do? The fourth house. The fourth house, from there we show mother. So we are looking at Aquarius. So taking Aquarius as Lagna and seeing how various planets are with respect to Aquarius, we can find out how things will be for mother during that particular year. So first let us look at Ashtaka Varga, because we covered it towards the end of last class. We can use this as an example to look at Ashtaka Varga. Actually, let me check my settings. Oops. You made a little mistake. If you didn't tell us, we wouldn't have known.
No, calculations of sun being in first house is a good actually.
I see, yeah, right.
Only one or two.
But Sun is not in first house here.
No, but
Oh, okay, from Scorpio, I see. You are not looking for mother, you are looking for yourself. Okay. If you want to look for mother, you should rather take fourth from Scorpio and then do from there. Okay, so let me open the Ashtaka again because I changed the settings. I don't know if it automatically changes.
what setting? Yeah, what setting?
I don't know if you have that setting, so don't care.
Calculation.
Full version, but what? No. You don't have the settings, so you don't have to change anything. You automatically get this, whatever you got now. The other one I use for a different purpose, not this purpose.
So basically both the boxes are inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, yes.
The strings in the string tab, if you go there, this Ashtaka Varga comes.
Yeah.
Then if you go to D12 chart, that is different from this.
Yeah. That is for the natal chart. If you go here,
The last thing
Strength.
that,
yeah, if you open this Ashtaka Varga will, actually it is the same. So I guess whoever programmed it in such a way that once you have the entry chart Ashtaka Varga comes. So you don't have to do this.
Yeah, I was looking at this.
Yeah, this is fine. I was under the impression that this only gives the natal charts, not the entry chart or whatever chart you are looking at, but apparently that's not that. So you can look at that also.
To me, like that, when I was looking at, I was only seeing one chart, and that is the same chart you consider whether you are taking the...
Okay, actually now that I remember, I remember how the code is. I am using the same class. So I think, okay, if the natal chart, if you make entry chart and go there, you can still show the natal chart. 1 second, let me verify that. Verify the page. Yes, it shows the natal chart. But the moment you say Ashtaka Varga of this, then it changes the class, it populates the class to the details of this entry chart. Once you do that, wherever you open Ashtaka Varga in whichever window, you get the same. So you do have to do this, at least once. So you better do that always. If you don't do that, if you say Ashtaka Varga, it will think you want natal chart Ashtaka Varga, not the period entry chart. Yeah.
That means when you say in the last class, when you are considering Mahadasha, take the Ashtaka Varga of natal chart.
Yes.
Then for...
That's true. So that we should have actually done that.
So again I'm correct.
You are correct.
Kavina.
Yeah. That is why last class we did it. Now, okay, thanks for that. So, if you look at the Ashtaka Varga of the D12, now, this Ashtaka Varga is computed, yes. Yes. Period entry Ashtaka Varga, yes, go ahead. You said you wanted to repeat or you want me to repeat? Oh, I see. I thought you wanted to repeat your understanding so that we can verify. Yes, please.
For seeing the Mahadasha period entry chart correlated with the natal chart of Ashtaka Varga. For seeing the Antardasha period in the Mahadasha Ashtaka Varga. For seeing the Satyam Dasha in the Antardasha.
Is it clear now? the natal chart is the basis on which various dashas exist. So look at the natal chart, look at the Ashtakavarga of the natal chart, and then use that to see how various dashas are. And then once you are in a dasha, a period, the beginning time of the period is basically like the life chart, birth chart. So that becomes the chart. See the Ashtakavarga of that chart to see subdivisions in the dasha, the sub-periods, antardashas, to judge how various of those are. When you look at the entry chart of those various sub-periods, to see how various houses are, go back to the Dasha Pravesha Chakra, the entry chart of the period, and then see how those various signs are. And of course, when you go to 2.5 day periods, the Pratyanta Dasha, to see how various 2.5 days are, you go to the beginning of the 1 month, because 2.5 days are 1/12 of the month. So go to the monthly chart. Take the Ashtakavarga of that as the reference when judging these. And similarly, within 2.5 days, you subdivide into various 5-hour charts. The beginning of the first 5 hour, which is basically beginning of the 2.5 day chart, that becomes the basis. Use that as the basis. So on that basis they stand. So on the basis of the birth chart, various dashas stand. On the basis of the entry chart of a particular dasha, various antardashas stand, and so on. So it's a hierarchy, starting from the life, entire life, to various small periods. Okay? So now I want to ask you a question. When we found this Ashtakavarga, we use the normal lagna. Should we be doing that, or should we be taking the 4th house as lagna when we are looking for results relating to mother? Yes. So software, I believe, allows you recompute taking another sign as lagna. So what should that sign be? In the Dvadashamsha. Yeah, no. In the Dvadashamsha, natal Dvadashamsha, ascendant is in? That sign, as far as I know, is called Libra.
Why are you saying natal chart? Because we want to see the period entry chart.
Yeah, we are looking at period entry chart and see how various planets are cooperating with those period entry chart positions. And when you say that cooperation, you are talking about cooperation of the natal position. There are certain natal positions. Based on natal positions, there is certain dynamics. Oh, sun, you want to go there? Well, we will not cooperate with you. All the planets will say. Hey, moon, you want to go into that sign? We will all cooperate with you. We like you there. Go there. So all the natal planet positions are, all the planets in the birth chart are saying that, hey planet, you go there, you better go there, or you better go here, like that. So at the beginning of a particular period, if you see how those positions have the cooperation of various positions at the birth, you can know how strong various planets are to give their results, and how strong various houses are to give their results. You understand?
Now that means we are taking the lagna of the
Natal chart.
natal chart.
Yeah, this Ashtakavarga is found based on the natal positions of all these planets, including lagna.
That is correct.
Yeah.
But we are going to discuss about the sun's position in the period entry chart.
Yes, whosoever position you are discussing, as far as Ashtakavarga is concerned, for mother, this lagna is not the lagna. The 4th house from this lagna is the lagna. Capricorn.
So we are considering.
So I am taking Capricorn as lagna and then finding the Ashtakavarga.
The favorable condition for Capricorn lagna.
Yeah.
Changing the lagna.
I'm just changing the lagna to Capricorn. So course will not change that much. Maybe in some signs it will change by 1 or 2. So even if you don't do it, it's not a big deal. Because we don't use the exact numbers to make any predictions. We just look at large, small. That's basically what we do. So it doesn't really matter, but just to be clear, I'm doing that. So now Aquarius. From Aquarius, you can see how various signs are. To see how things are for mother during the year. And also you can look at how various planets are. Which planets are particularly strong and which planets are particularly weak. Is there any planet that's particularly strong or particularly weak? Can you find any planet who is really terribly weak or terribly strong? Moon. Why is it terribly weak? No, I'm talking about scores. We'll talk about the subjective analysis a little later. Just look at the numbers. Based on numbers, is there anything you can say? Moon is in Cancer. In Moon Ashtavarga, the score is 4. Mars and Venus are in Gemini. The scores are 5 and 4. Nothing really special. Mercury is in Aries. The score is 6. Strong. So Mercury is strong. Let's keep that in mind. Mercury is very strong. And who else? Sun. Sun is in Scorpio. The score in Scorpio in the Ashtavarga is 4. By the way. Yes, okay. So 4. So it's neither too strong nor too weak. Saturn is in Leo. The score is 3. Low but good enough for Saturn. So no planet is particularly strong or particularly weak. The only planet that is particularly strong is Mercury. So whatever results Mercury is showing, those results will really dominate. Mercury is really strong for giving good or bad results. So what are the results Mercury gives here? What are the results promised by Mercury to mother? Pardon me? Yes. If you go back to the Dasha Pravesh Chakra, taking Aquarius as Lagna for mother, from Aquarius is the 5th and 8th lord. So what does 5th house show? Abilities, children, various things. So spending more time with children, maybe having happiness from children, those things are possible. And also 8th house. What does 8th house show? Sudden problems, some sudden anxieties and tensions. So these are likely to dominate for mother. That is point number 1. And now leave the Ashtavarga. And of course, by the way, looking at the houses, are there any houses that dominate? 3 and 5. These are the houses that really dominate. What does 3rd house show? Travels. 3rd house will show travels, brothers, lot of initiative, determination. So, if there are any problems during the year, there will be lot of determination in her. There may be some travels, etc. And also, the strongest is 5th house, a score of 37. So, spending a lot of time with children, happiness from children, these are strongly indicated. Now, apart from it, now let us do the subjective analysis. How are various planets in this chart? When you look at this chart, what really dominates? No, we took Aquarius to show mother. What happens to mother from the Surya Lagna? We are still in Aquarius. Then we will come back to Chandra Lagna to see how he reacts. So, not only he, how his mother reacts to this. So we will use Chandra Lagna for that. But first we will see what the world or the God will give to her mother during this year. So that is from Aquarius. So are there any yogas that really dominate? Any yogas that stand out? Lagna Lord, Saturn is in 7th house. Rahu is also Lagna Lord. Very good point. He is actually the stronger Lagna Lord. Okay, Lagna Lord is in 6th house and with the 6th Lord Moon. So Lagna Lord is in the 6th house with 6th Lord Moon. And are they happy there? First of all, forget their Moon and Rahu. They are Lagna Lord and 6th Lord. Is their conjunction good? No. It shows what does Lagna Lord and 6th Lord or Lagna Lord and 8th Lord conjunction show? Pardon me? It shows diseases or worries, quarrels, fights with lot of obstacles to overcome. It shows some kind of enmity. Enmity can be with a real person or with a disease. So it shows diseases and enmity.
Lagna Lord has gone to 6, is it that they have gone and invited the troubles?
Possible. If Lagna Lord is in 6th house, it is possible that something that you are doing is getting into problems. Maybe your fault also. Not fault, but your...
It happened with food poisoning. So Rahu, the beginning of the class.
Rahu in general is Karaka for food poisoning, but he should also have a link with the 2nd house. For food poisoning to occur, he should aspect the 2nd house, aspect 2nd Lord, be in the 2nd house, etc. And here he has Grahadrishti on both the 2nd house and 2nd Lord. So it is possible. It can happen due to food poisoning. But it is basically something that you have brought upon yourself because it is Lagna Lord. And the planets now, I said that Lagna Lord and 6th Lord being together is bad. That too in the 6th house. Moreover, who are those planets? Moon and Rahu. Moon and Rahu. Rahu causes eclipse of moon. So Moon and Rahu are like worst enemies. Rahu's worst enemy is Moon. Not even Sun or Jupiter. His worst enemy is Moon. Ketu likes eclipsing Sun. Rahu likes eclipsing Moon. So Rahu is in Moon's own house. Normally if Rahu is with Moon, Moon is destroyed. But here Moon is in own house. So this is quite a fight. This is not a fight that's over very easily. This is quite a fight when Moon and Rahu are together in Moon's house. So looking at the placement of Lagna Lord in the 6th house with 6th Lord, looking at the eclipse going on in the 6th house, you can see that there is some sickness. Some sickness that you can directly see. Now, who are aspecting them? Jupiter and Ketu. Jupiter and Ketu are in the 12th house and aspecting. So if Jupiter and Ketu are in the 12th house and aspecting Moon and Rahu, what would it show? What does 12th house show? 12th house will show hospitalization, but Jupiter in the 12th house will show in the hospitalization some good care. Somebody taking good care of her, some learned person, very wise person. So that Jupiter is aspecting Chandra Rahu Yuti, the eclipse of Moon by Rahu. So when Jupiter aspects, and Jupiter is not really a bad planet here. Of course, he is a functional malefic from Aquarius, but he is not like 6th Lord or 8th Lord. He doesn't have a nefarious agenda. Yeah, he is debilitated. He is weak. He is not very strong. But the bottom line is, he doesn't have any nefarious agenda as far as Mother is concerned. Moon has a nefarious agenda. But Mercury has a nefarious agenda. But Moon doesn't really have a nefarious agenda. His agenda is 2nd and 11th.
Jupiter.
Pardon me? I meant Jupiter, not Moon. So that Jupiter being in the 12th house, even though he is unhappy, being debilitated, he feels very weak and helpless. But still, his Grahadrishti on Moon and Rahu, he is capable of resolving the tug of war between Moon and Rahu. There is a big tug of war between Moon and Rahu.
What happens when they debilitate?
Who?
What happens with the debilitation though?
Of Jupiter?
Yes.
The debilitated Jupiter, like I said, Jupiter in the 12th house is showing somebody, some wise person who's helping her in the hospitalization and trying to resolve the problem, to resolve the tug of war between Moon and Rahu. So that Jupiter is debilitated. It means whoever doctor or any wise person who is helping her with the problem during her hospitalization, or some kind of confinement, it doesn't have to be hospital, it can be confinement to a bed in her own home. So during that time, whoever is helping her is not very hopeful. Exaltation is hope and optimism. Debilitation is kind of like doing your duty because you have to, even though you are not very optimistic and slightly depressed, still you just keep doing. That's what debilitation shows. So a planet in debility will show somebody who's a little depressed, a little sad, not really confident, but still just keeps doing it. On the other hand, if the same Jupiter was exalted, he would show somebody who's very optimistic. He will say, oh, this problem will go away. I'll tell you a mantra, it will go away. Come on, let's do it. That kind of attitude. And here, it looks serious, but I think we can do it. Let's just try kind of attitude.
The other way, the doctor or whoever is helping, they have to really put a lot of effort to
Right. It doesn't happen very easily. With exaltation, there is a lot of hope, optimism, things happen very coolly, very easily. With debilitation, things are more difficult, more depressing, and slower. So that's the thing. And Jupiter is with Ketu. So when Jupiter is with Ketu, it shows somebody who's helping with a lot of intuition. Jupiter and Ketu together will show a lot of intuition. Ketu is the planet of intuition. Because he has no head. Ketu has no head. Rahu has the head. So when you don't have head, you don't think this, so this is the diagnosis, so this is the medicine you do. So we do this, and then she gets fine. It's not like that. That is the headed approach. And the headless approach is you don't have a head. So you just have to go by your intuition. Just do this, it may work, kind of approach. So that Jupiter being with Ketu may suggest that somebody will use intuition, not really a strong clinical diagnosis or any clear procedure. Just get that Get that idea. This is how you should tackle it. And then that will work. So that kind of, she may get that kind of help. That is what this is suggesting. But bottom line is, the focus of planets on the 6th and 12th houses shows some kind of confinement, some kind of hospitalization, and some kind of sickness. So that very clearly shows sickness during the year. And now what analysis did you give?
Count for the
Okay, you counted the planets. So you did not do any subjective analysis.
look at astrology and
Okay, good. This is good start, but also do the subjective analysis, because that is where you get the real insight. Even though it is subjective, that is the analysis that will give you clear idea of what is going on. So when you counted the planets, did you count from Scorpio or from Aquarius? Okay, if you count from Aquarius, it is better. If you want to see something that happened to your mother, make the count from Aquarius. Okay?
Does it make sense to count if it is Chandra Lagna?
Yeah.
Does it make sense to count from Leo?
No, what from Leo?
No.
You can do both.
What happened to me during the year, right? During that time. So it makes
If you see, okay, now let's go to Chandra Lagna. It's in Leo. The progress, Chandra Lagna is in Leo. So if you take Leo as Lagna and analyze, it shows how he feels. How he feels regarding whatever is happening to his mother and father. Whatever is happening in his parental environment, how he reacts to it, how he feels about it. That's what you see when you look from Leo. And if you look from the 4th from Leo, you will see how his mother feels. If you look from the 9th from Leo, you will see how his father feels regarding whatever is happening. Now, how does he feel? Let us see. Cat-
Moon being in Rahu, with Rahu, like Moon is being a universal mother.
Yeah.
With Rahu, I had some problem there. I mean,
That is possible, but that is an approximate logic. That's an approximate logic. It's better to use the Dasha sign also for someone. So, okay. Looking at Leo, from Leo, how are the positions? Lagna has Saturn. Is it good or bad? Manakarka Sthana for Saturn. When Saturn is in Manakarka, that inflicting house, in Lagna, what does it show? It shows happiness or sadness? It shows sadness. So Saturn.
Isn't that math is relative to 7th or 8th? Because that's the lordship of Saturn.
No, 6th and 7th.
6th and 7th.
So 6th and 7th house. So relating to some obstacles, relating to some relationships, etc. There is some sadness. As far as the parental environment is concerned, there is some sadness. And then again 6th and 12th house has Moon, Rahu, Jupiter and Ketu. So what does that show?
If we take Moon as Karaka for mother and
Just like we took Jupiter as Karaka for some wise person who's helping earlier. Yeah, if you take Moon as Karaka for mother,
it is in the 12th house.
it is in the 12th house. So
Something related to mother.
some perception of loss basically. 12th house is the house of loss. Some perception of some kind of losing mother. Not losing in the final sense, but some kind of, something happened to her. You basically miss her. You are worried about her.
Is that mental level?
Yeah, this is at the perception level. You perceive some kind of loss relating to mother, relating to parental environment, and probably mother because it is Moon. So that is one thing. And Lagna Lord Sun is in the 4th house. What does it show? Is he thinking more about mother or father during the year? Not during this, just this 1 or 1.5 months, but in general during this year. Is he thinking more about father or mother? Mother, because Lagna Lord is in 4th house. So it shows attachment to mother. Lot of thinking about mother. At the feeling and perception level. So like that you can analyze. Okay? And look from the 4th, now see how mother feels, because that is more important. Yes, Vijay.
I have a question here is that now the Moon is in 12th house, we say it's a loss. But now they know the incident, we say that it is not total loss.
Yeah.
But if you don't know that, is the possibility is a total loss also, right?
Total loss you will not see from
How do
here.
you
If
differentiate?
somebody's mother passed away during a year or month, you can look at the markas, etc. When we saw the mother earlier, the 6th and 12th house dominated, not the 7th and 8th house. So if there is a loss of mother in that sense, it shows as some kind of Margasthana being activated. That's not seen here. All we see is the sixth house is really strong, showing sickness. That's it.
So we should not conclude.
We should not conclude that way at all. But if something is in the 12th house, it means that there is either a loss or some kind of compromise or some kind of negative event where you have to give up something. So he had to give up maternal happiness for a while because mother was sick. So that's all. It won't show anything, any loss more than that.
Can we conclude what he said if Rahu has affliction the fourth or ninth house accordingly directly?
Yeah.
Then can we conclude that kind of
Then also it shows some kind of serious problem to mother or father. But it does not necessarily show father or mother passing away. For that you would take the lagna, not the actual lagna, but father or mother lagna, and see any maraka dashas or any marakas are activating. Look at the maraka sthanas, see any marakas are being activated during the year. Then you can conclude that loss of mother or something is following. Let us check if Rajiv Gandhi's chart shows that. Because we know that Rajiv Gandhi's mother passed away, we know when she passed away, so it may be visible there. So let us take that example. So the data is the data of Rajiv Gandhi, India's late Prime Minister, is August 20, 1944, 7:12:45 a.m. Indian Standard Time, 72 degrees 49 minutes east, 18 degrees 58 minutes north, and his mother passed away. Does anybody know when? She is, after all, she was the Prime Minister of India then. October 31st or 30? 31st? 1984. Is that right? Indira Gandhi's assassination. October 31st, you guys are right. Okay. So now let's go back to Rajiv. Sudarshana Chakra Dasha of D12 to see parents. 1984, August 20 at 1:19:58 p.m. That's when the new year started, the new dasha started. If you see the entry chart, the dasha was based on Lagna Chakra, it was Taurus, based on Chandra Chakra, it was Gemini, based on Surya Chakra, it was Capricorn. So what do you want to see first? Which one do you want to see? Okay? You want to see the fourth from Capricorn. So let's see the fourth from Capricorn and then let's see the fourth from Gemini. Because the fourth from Gemini will show how she feels. Of course, if somebody dies, she will feel that. So it should be visible from the Chandra Lagna as well as Surya Lagna. So let us take both of them. But first let's see the Surya Lagna to see mother's assassination. So from Chandra Lagna is in Gemini. Surya Lagna. Surya Lagna is in Capricorn. So from Capricorn, if you take the fourth house, Aries. So we will take Aries as Lagna to see how things will go for mother during that year. So if you take Capricorn as Lagna, how are various planets placed? Who are in the Lagna? The second and seventh lord, Maraka. Is Venus a Maraka? Venus is the Maraka, second and seventh lord. He is in Lagna. Now you have to remember one thing. Just on account of being second and seventh lord, of course Venus is Maraka according to classics, but he will not kill just by being second and seventh lord. So every year there will be death. But for actual death to occur, that killer has to associate with some malefic. By himself, Venus is not a malefic, he is a benefic. But he has to associate with some malefics. Then only death can occur. So he has to either be in a malefic sign, be aspected by malefics, or be with malefics, etc. Now, where is Venus? In a very violent sign, Aries, ruled by Mars. So that Maraka, that killer Venus, is in a malefic sign owned by Mars, the planet of violence, aggression. And Mars and Ketu, these are the two planets who show sudden violent events. And of course, they are the 8 lords also.
16 is Saturn.
Very good point. We will come to that extent later. But Mars and Ketu are the 8 lords. The 8 lords, Mars and Ketu, are in Aquarius. And they have Rasdrishti on this Venus. Pardon me? They are in Badhakasthana. The 8 lords, the 2 malefic 8 lords have Badhakasthana and they are aspecting Venus. Now, what is worse is not only aspecting Venus by Rasdrishti, but actually Mars is associated with Venus because Shani and Mars have a Parivartana. Saturn is in Mars house, Mars is in Saturn house. So, because of that exchange, Saturn will actually act like Mars. A servant is actually acting like a soldier, basically, like a professional killer. Saturn acting like a Mars. That's basically what it means. Saturn shows servant. Anyway, so Saturn having Parivartana with Mars and with Venus means, in effect, you get Mars afflicting Venus. The Lagna and 8th Lord Mars afflicting the 7th and 2nd Lord Venus in Lagna. So, that is a Maraka combination, a killer combination. So, because that killer combination is occurring in Lagna, there is a possibility of death of mother during a particular year. Okay? And of course, you can see from the Chandalagna also. If you look at the 4th house from Chandalagna, you will see that Lagna Lord is in the 7th house with the 7th Lord Maraka again. So that way also there is Marakatva, but of course Surya Lagna is important. So, and of course you can also look at Lagna itself. And all the ways you will see that Maraka Dasha is activated. So I just wanted to...
The Mars is becoming a violent death, that's what it is?
Yes, absolutely. If Mars wasn't involved, you wouldn't expect a violent death of mother during that particular year. You may look at various dashas. This is only one technique. There are tens of techniques which would point at that event. But in all the techniques, there should be indications of violent death. Otherwise, the death wouldn't be so violent. Her own servant, her own bodyguard just shot her. Bodyguard shot her when she was walking in a garden. So, such a violent and unexpected death will occur only if Mars or Ketu are associated. Otherwise, it will not be so violent. Okay, so the point is, even if Mars or Ketu do not associate, it may be some other malefic, Saturn or whoever. Or Venus may be the 2nd and 7th Lord and he may be in the 8th house or 3rd house. So there are various other combinations which can bring death. But bottom line is, when you look at the Sudarshan Chakradasha of that year and see the Lagna of mother, with respect to that, you will see some Maraka combinations, some killer combinations. If you don't see that, any loss that you see is only a normal loss. It's not a fatal loss. Okay, now let us come back to his chart. Actually, we are done with his chart. So, very good job. Yes, you can ask the question after I restart. Let me stop.
Can we do 2 minutes of thing by going to, I just want to see the example of Navi Devi. We took the Asayvarga of the metal chart and correlated with the Mahadasha and the chart. Can we go one level down just to the example?
Yes, very good. So when was this? So you want to see Antardasha?
I want to see Antardasha and get the Asayvarga of Mahadasha.
Okay. How? Let us do that.
July 19, 2005.
July 19?
That was when we reported
Oh, okay. July 19, 2000, it started and went on for a month. Couple of months.
2005.
July 19, 2005. Okay. So, basically, even though it happened towards the end of this month, let us take this month. Because during this whole month, she was sick. From July 21 to August 21. So, let us focus on that month. How that month is, as far as his parental environment is concerned. His mother, etc. are concerned. So, let us do that. Let us look at first let me open the entry chart of the year and then open the Ashtakavarga. So Ashtakavarga of the year is here. Now let me close this and let me go to the month in question and open the entry chart of that. And when you do that, as far as I remember,
But,
this
since you said that's the question where I asked. We set the Ashtakavarga to reflect automatically the change of the current chart.
Yeah.
And the current chart happens to be brilliantly chart for the month.
Yeah.
And when it automatically changes, will whatever you open remain there forever?
It changes. It changes. I just wanted to verify the behavior. So look at these positions here and then go back. Let us do that. First, let us remember the planetary position. So let us analyze and then we'll open AstroVolta. This is basically a drawback of the software, but you can work around it. So let us do that. Yeah. Once it becomes open source, it's homework for everybody to fix so many things. Let us look at the month. Let us focus on the Surya Chakra again to see what's happening. Pisces is the Lagna. So Pisces is the Lagna. So fourth house from Pisces is to see mother. Which house will you see? Fourth from Pisces. What is it? Gemini. So take Gemini as Lagna and see how things are for mother during that particular year. Particular month. Without looking at Ashtavarga, just looking at the planetary position, does it look good or bad? First of all, where is Lagna Lord? Lagna Lord in 12th house. Is that good or bad? Not really great. It shows giving away a lot of things, or going to jail, or going to hospital, imprisonment, etc. Not being able to function fully. That's what it shows. Some kind of confinement. And forget Lagna Lord. How is Lagna itself? Who's blessing the Lagna? Sixth Lord. He's actually not blessing the Lagna. It's quite the opposite. The sixth Lord of sickness. Sixth house is the house of disease. That Lord is sitting in Lagna, sitting overhead. The Lord of the house of disease. And who is that planet? It is Ketu. The planet of physically testing you to the extremes. The planet who believes that there's no point in living. Just get moksha. That kind of planet. So when that planet gives disease, he will give serious problems. When Ketu or Rahu give problems, they will give serious problems. And that Ketu is sitting in Lagna. And is he debilitated or exalted in Gemini? Anybody remembers? Ketu is debilitated in Gemini. So pardon me? Sixth Lord's debilitation is good. But debilitated planet in Lagna is not that good. So as far as Lagna is concerned, Lagna is being hammered by a very depressed person who doesn't want to give you good health. Ketu is a planet who doesn't want to give good health to her. Ketu is a person who wants to give her very bad health, and he is sitting over the head. And he is very moody, he is very depressed, he is not in a good mood. So what do you expect? You expect that month to be a very bad month, based on that. Now,
Eighth Lord is in fourth house to give you lots of comfort.
yes, Saturn is in the fourth house, 8th and 12th Lords are in the fourth house. If 8th and 12th Lords are together, it can be Viparit Raj Yoga, but unfortunately it's not happening in a Dusthana, it's happening in a quadrant. So it's not really that good for the fourth house, so there isn't much happiness. So you can do all those analysis, but bottom line is Rahu, Ketu on Lagna. Done. And you can see that even in the annual chart, it is Rahu Ketu. You should look for, like I told you earlier, look for combinations or yogas in the natal chart. Look for the repetition in the annual chart. Look for yogas or special combinations in the annual chart. Look for the repetition in the monthly chart. Look for combinations or bad things or good things in the monthly chart. Look for the repetition in the 2.5 day chart. Like that. That is the hierarchy. So Rahu and Ketu, if you remember, are on that bad axis, 6th and 12th house, showing disease, etc. So the same Rahu Ketu giving a problem here, again associating with the Lagna and the 6th house, will show that during this particular month the problem will occur. If you see in a year there is a chance of a problem, look at each month, then you may be able to figure out this is the month during this whole year when problem can occur. So like that, here this particular month doesn't seem good. Now let us go back. We have seen how planets are, what are the houses, and having done that, actually before we do that, just quickly from Chandalagna also, because not only Sun, not only the opportunity given to her mother during this month, which is the opportunity to be sick, the opportunity to be confined, not only the opportunity shown by Sun, but the feeling shown by Moon also, let us see. Where is Chandalagna progress? Leo. From Leo, what is the fourth house? Scorpio. How are things from Scorpio? Is it good or bad? Where is Lagna Lord? One Lagna Lord is in the 6th house, good. The, shows fighting. Other Lagna Lord Ketu is in the 8th house. So one Lagna Lord Ketu going into the 8th house. Again it shows problems. And how is the 8th Lord Mercury? Is he well placed? No, he is in the 7th house. 8th Lord in the 7th house. What does it show? No, 8th Lord in 7th is a specific combination. It's a Marga combination. 7th Lord in 8th or 8th Lord in 7th show death. Of course, in an annual chart or a monthly chart, you won't say death just based on that. The natal chart should show it, annual chart should show it, and monthly chart should show it. And in the annual chart, we did not see it. So in the monthly chart, if you see it, you don't predict death, but you predict death-like suffering. So this month looks quite bad based on this, based on how she feels and also based on how things happen on the ground. Now let us go back to the annual chart because we want Ashtaka Varga. Open Ashtaka Varga. Now how is Ashtaka Varga? Let us see from Gemini. We analyzed from Gemini, remember? So from Gemini, how are various houses? And also how are various planets? We can see planets also. Now, from Gemini, the Lagna Lord is Mercury. To see the strength of Lagna, you see Lagna Lord, who is unfortunately in the 12th house, if you remember. In the monthly chart, Gemini is the Lagna for mother, based on progress Surya Lagna, the 4th samiti is Gemini. And the Lagna Lord Mercury goes to Taurus, if you remember. We said Lagna Lord in 12th is not good, it shows confinement. And how is the Lagna Lord? Is he strong? If he has some strength, at least health will be somewhat good. How is he? What is the score? Extremely poor. 2. It's better than 0 and 1, but it's still less than the average. Average score is 4. 3, 2, 1, 0 are bad. 3 is bad, 2 is very bad, 1 is terrible, 0 is no worse. So this is basically a very bad score. So we have a bad score here, 2, very low score. Probably this is the lowest, but we can check who's the lowest. Do you remember where other planets are? And by the way, 6th house is strong with a score of 30. So it shows some problems and also trying to overcome those problems. 3rd house is strong, so there will be some determination. The determination will not go away during this year. Now, Mars and Jupiter are in Aries. Good. Mars has a score of 5. So Mars is strong. And Jupiter is strong.
But 5th house doesn't have the ability to oversee the determination.
Pardon me?
5th house is weak.
Yeah.
Not able to.
What? 5th house. Oh, 5th house. Okay.
So if in 3rd is strong, 5th is weak.
Yeah.
There is no ability available to.
That is a good point. Yes. And in general, if somebody is sick, if you overcome sickness, if you overcome problems, 5th house is a very important house. Because 5th house is the house of Purva Punya. So if you see the strength in the 1st, 5th and 9th houses, the 3 trines, they show the blessing. And especially if you have a problem, if you overcome those problems, 5th house is a very important house. It's the house of abilities and Purva Punya. So 5th house is the weakest house here. So it shows lack of Purva Punya or Purva Punya not coming to aid during this particular month. So that's what it shows. So the weakness of 5th house is really a big blemish. And now let us look at various planets. Venus has a score of 7. He is quite strong. There is no problem. Saturn 4, absolutely strong. There is no problem. Jupiter 5, super strong. Mars is 5, super strong. And of course, Mars you wouldn't want him to be strong because he is the 6th and 11th lord. You better want to have him weak. Unfortunately, he is not weak. Now, even though 5th house is terribly weak, 20 is terribly weak. 25 is the average score. 25 to 30 is average. 27 or 28 is the average score. Below 25 is bad. 20 is really bad. Even though 5th house is bad, 5th lord is actually fine. Venus. So what it means is, even though the Purva Punya is not is not helping that much, still it's not totally gone. So there is still some luck guarding her. And also 9th lord Saturn is strong. Now, who are the other planets left? Does anybody remember where Sun and Moon are? Moon is in, not in Scorpio. Moon is in Aquarius, Sun is in Leo. Leo, Aquarius. Okay, let's go back now. Moon is in Aquarius. What is the score in Aquarius? What is the score in Aquarius in Moon Ashtaka Varga? 3. Poor, not that good. Average, less than average. So Moon is not that strong. Sun is in Leo, strong. So if you look at all planets are basically reasonable. The only planet that is weak is Mercury with a score of 2. So you conclude that Lagna is the one, Lagna Lord is the one who doesn't have the cooperation of various other planets. So basically Lagna, what does Lagna show? Resistance, intelligence, and also the overall health, overall well-being. So the overall well-being is basically being weakened. Other things are fine. But overall well-being is it's like the foundation of everything. So when that foundation is basically weak, other things don't really matter much.
So the second is very poor, 20, so there is no...
Second house is also poor. That means
no food and...
no resources, no food. Food will be, she will not have the opportunity to have a lot of food. So that is another thing.
How did you correlate to the behavior of this chart?
Pardon me?
How did you get the behavior of this chart?
This chart, I just clicked and then did Ashtavarga.
Yeah, but this is the behavior of
Annual chart. This is the behavior of the annual chart. I memorized the positions in the monthly chart and I am looking at those positions in this chart. You see? Okay. Because I can't get that chart and this Ashtavarga at the same time. I remember going through this issue a couple of 3 years back. I just left it because there is a workaround. And it was slightly complicated for me to actually make both available.
Will that work in case if you open two Jehoras and...
Yes, it will work. It will work. Yeah. This is as simple form. It depends on how your brain is structured. Depending on the structure of your brain, something will seem simpler to you, something else will seem simpler to somebody else. How you organize information, how you access information in your brain. Any other questions or points or suggestions? Okay. So this is how you look at the monthly chart. Yes.
When you start second instance of Jehora, the memory initially it's like 5 or 8 petabytes.
Yeah.
But memory is
I don't believe that.
no.
I don't believe it. You may already be using, compared to any other software that you use, Jehora uses very little memory. And even if I don't use just 2, sometimes I open 5 or 6 Jehoras, you must be running a lot of other memory sensitive applications in the background. Or, you must be having a lot of very little memory. Jehora itself takes very little memory. Let me see how much it takes. Jehora. Yeah, it takes 6K. 6K is nothing. 6 meg is nothing. And if you have, I have 512 meg or something in my computer. So Windows itself takes like a few hundred meg. Yeah. And if you open things like GOC++ or compile programs, many things take much more memory. If you use some of the stuff that we do at work, some video compression, decompression software, they take like 50, 60 meg. So this is nothing. So even if you open like 5 instances of Jehora, it's like 30 meg. And on most computers, 30 meg should not take you to the brink. If 2 instances of Jehora are taking you to the brink, it means you are already too close to the brink. And find out why. Okay, any other questions? Otherwise, we'll go to the next homework. Next question. Maitri beat Kiran by 4 hours, 4.5 hours. She did it in the daytime and he came home. She told him I did it, then he panicked. Oh, then I must also do it. Then he did it and sent it at 8:45. What?
The emails and even the class are
Yeah.
I think it's
I think it's good. Okay, let's see Maitri's homework. The data, let me check if I have it already here. I don't have it. How come I don't have any chart? The data is 1981 March 18, 1981, 5:30 p.m. Bangalore, right? Okay. So the event is she got married on February 1st, 2004. So let us see February 1st, 2004. Let us see how that year is. So we should look at 2003, right?
Navamsa.
Yeah, Navamsa, absolutely. So let us look at the Sudarshana Chakra Dasha of Navamsa. Let us see 2003 year, 2003 March 19 to 2004 March 18. So that year, during that year she got married. So let us see how that year is, and is there any chance of marriage, whether we can see it in the Sudarshana Chakra Dasha. So the Dasha was that of Leo, Aries and Gemini as far as Navam Sudarshana Chakra Dasha is concerned. And first, do you want to see Lagna, Surya or Chandra?
In the case of marriage is Lagna, right?
Why?
Because now personal relation. Because why Surya? Because Surya is some external people doing something.
Yeah.
Depends how the marriage was arranged. Whether he took initiative or something.
Whoever took initiative. Remember that Surya is not others. Surya is everybody. Surya is basically God. Surya is the Vishwatma, the cumulative soul of the universe. So from Surya Lagna, what you see is what the world is doing to you. By that I don't mean what all other people are doing to you. The other concept is not there when you talk about Surya. It is basically the opportunity you are given. Surya Lagna shows the opportunities you are given by the entire universe. Not just this world, the entire universe. What are the opportunities that come your way? Chandra Lagna is how you feel about the opportunities that are coming to you. It may be a great opportunity, but you may feel it's a bad opportunity. So it is how you look at it. And Lagna is how you grab those opportunities, how you do things. So of course you can look at all the three of them, but let us start with Surya Lagna. The fact that somebody got married, whether he saw some girl and fell in love and proposed and got married, or parents said, hey, your choice match, why don't you get married? And he said, okay, and then gets married. Whichever happens, whether it's arranged marriage or own arranged marriage, whichever marriage it is, self-arranged marriage, whichever marriage it is, that is not the point. Irrespective of it, Lagna is important because he chose to walk into a marriage. Or in some cases run into a marriage. Or in some cases limp into a marriage. Whichever it is, Lagna is important because he walked into it, he or she. And Surya is important because it was an opportunity presented by the universe to fulfill the dharma to that particular person. So both are important. And of course Chandra is also important to see how the person perceives the whole thing. And to see whether this was arranged or not, whether he was happy or not, all those things, Chandra may be more important than other Surya or Lagna. Now having said that, let us go to the, before Ashtakavarga, let us just go to the Surya Lagna, or let us see what she wrote. SAV scores, she looked at SAV scores, good, bad, and marriage is a new beginning. Leo, pardon me? She is taking from Lagna, okay. So let us see, she took it from Lagna because it was an action that she took. So let us do that. So from Lagna, how are things? Is there a possibility of marriage? What else? Yes. So are there any yogas in Lagna? Are there any important yogas in Lagna? Good yogas? Yeah? Yes? The Lagna Lord, the Dharma Lord, the ninth Lord, marriage is basically an act of Dharma, like I said earlier. Ninth Lord, the 10th Lord. 10th is activities in society related to Dharma. So 10th Lord, the 4th Lord, Sukha. All those lords are together in Lagna. So when you see all those lords together, so many yogas, is there a possibility of some important event in the dharmic life? Yes. And also 9th house can show marriage. And the Lagna Lord also is there, and like you said, the Karaka of marriage, Venus is also there. So all of them are together. So there is a chance of marriage. And how is the 7th Lord? Because 7th is also the house of relationship, new relationship, etc. So 7th Lord, how is he? Who is the 7th Lord? Saturn. Stronger 7th Lord. Stronger 7th Lord is Saturn. Where is he? In the house of? Second house. What is second house? The house of? Family. So 7th Lord is in the house of family. It can show a new relationship and growth of the family. And who is he with? Who is Saturn, 7th Lord with? Ketu. Ketu shows? Arranged marriage. Or Ketu shows marriage for lineage. Marriage for growing the family. Vansha Vriddhi. Marriage for Vansha Vriddhi. So the 7th Lord Saturn being in the house of family with the planet who shows growth of family, birth of children and growth of family with that particular planet. So that shows that there is a chance of marriage during the year. And of course, quite honestly, just looking at this, I wouldn't have predicted marriage. I would have also checked other events, but this definitely supports marriage during the year. It's not like in some cases you will see very strong, even stronger indications. 7th Lord, Lagna Lord together in the 7th house or things like that. You can say even more confidently that this year marriage will occur. Here it's not that strong, but it is reasonably strong. There is a reasonably strong indication of marriage during the year. And if you look at other techniques also, you can be more confident. Now, do you want to look at Chandralagna also to see how she felt during this year? Pardon me? From Sun we will see, but I want to see some Chandralagna to see how she feels. And Aries is the Lagna. From Aries, how are things? Fourth Lord is exalted. 4th house is the house of Sukha, happiness. So he is exalted in the 2nd house of family. So she is overall very happy during the year, very excited. And there is again a yoga involving Lagna Lord, the 5th Lord of emotions and the 7th Lord of relationships. So there is a yoga involving all those planets. So again, she is very happy about the marriage. So it's not something forced on her, she is unhappy. If that was the case, from the Chandralagna you would have seen some negative indication. And of course, if that was the case, I wouldn't have opened it. I already checked, that is why I started. And similar way, if you see some such bad indications, just keep it to yourself. Don't say it loud. It's not really auspicious.
870 is also in the Lagna.
Forget the Arudhas. We don't know what they mean. We have not used them until now. We will not use them now. Okay. Now Surya Lagna. Anybody wants to see Surya Lagna also? This is the opportunity the world gives to her during this year, as far as Dharma is concerned. So how are things there? What is the most important yoga in that chart? Again, Leo is the most important house here. Leo has all the yogas. So from Gemini, what yogas does it have? Does it have any good or bad yogas? Anybody? Any yoga from Gemini, good or bad? From Chandralagna and Lagna, these are normal Raj yogas. But here it's a different yoga. What lords are together? 5th and 6th Lord, Himanta yoga, okay. Okay. What else? Is there any yoga involving all the 3 planets there? 3rd Lord, 6th Lord, 12th Lord, together in the 3rd house. Viparita Raj Yoga involving 3 planets. So there is a Viparita Raj Yoga in the house of initiative.
What is the combination?
The 6th Lord Mars, the 12th Lord Venus, the 3rd Lord Sun. All the 3 malefic lords, not all, but 3 malefic lords are together. Had they been in a quadrant or trine, it wouldn't have been a Viparita Raj Yoga, but they are in 3rd house. So it is if they are in 3, 6, 8, 12, it is a Viparita Raj Yoga. So there is a Viparita Raj Yoga from Surya Lagna. So from the point of view of opportunities presented before her during the year relating to Dharma, what are you seeing here? You don't see a Raj Yoga, you see a Viparita Raj Yoga, which means something that suddenly happens, some sudden reversal. So one possibility is suddenly there will be an opportunity of marriage, suddenly there will be an opportunity of new dharmic life. So
Suddenly, because it is
Viparita means you weren't expecting it suddenly happen.
Viparita is basically with a lot of trouble, and then
It is that also is possible. That Viparita means going from one extreme to another extreme. That could mean lot of trouble and then suddenly working out. It could also mean you are not even thinking of something. You are at one extreme, which is not married, not thinking of marriage, just doing something else. And then suddenly a match comes and you decide, okay, I'll get married. That's a sudden change from one extreme to another too.
the 8th house should the 8th house involvement be there in the 8th house.
If it is there, it is good. But even without 8th house involvement, Viparita Raj Yoga can also show something that suddenly happens. So if it is a Raj Yoga that also involves 8th house, again it can happen suddenly. 8th house does show suddenness. But 8th house is not the only thing that shows suddenness. Mars is the Karaka for suddenness, who's here. That is one thing. And second thing is, the Viparita Raj Yoga by nature shows something that suddenly, not suddenly, but something changing from something to something else. From one extreme to another extreme. Viparitam means Viparitam. Itam means gone. Pari means followed and gone. V means reverse, opposite. So Viparitam, the word itself means having gone from here to there. Having gone from one extreme to another extreme. Reversal basically, that's what Viparitam shows. So it can happen through a lot of effort, also it can happen through some sudden maneuver. So because you see Viparita Raj Yoga with respect to Surya Lagna, you can conclude that suddenly something will come up. So that is how you can analyze it. But looking at all the 3 of them, there are nice yogas, so there is a possibility of marriage. And then Maitri carefully looked at all the numbers and did the objective analysis that we talked about. That is good. And all of you can go home and verify it. But she found that Venus is the strongest planet. When she looked at the Ashtavarga, apparently Venus is the strongest planet. And that Venus is basically, if you look at the Lagna, he is in the Lagna. If you look at the Chandra Lagna, he is the 7th Lord. So that planet is quite strong, and also he is the Karaka for marriage. So that is very auspicious. If Venus or some other important planet like the 7th Lord is strong in the Ashtavarga, that is very auspicious. So the Karaka is strong, so that is a good point. So she looked at various Ashtavarga scores, and then she found out the important and unimportant, less important houses. So go through them. So let us go to Kiran's homework. Same event or different event? Okay. Now we'll see the other side of the coin.
Just a question, both of us are actually for
Okay.
the same year, marriage was supposed to happen on one day, which is not, it's happened at the future.
Okay. That is also possible. Viparita can show that also. Lot of changes basically. You were expecting at a date, didn't happen, some problems, and then suddenly it happened.
Or if your parents not agreeing at all, and finally they agree and say, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that is also possible. Yes. So from the point of view of how the opportunities are given to them, there is something there, something going on, something not straightforward. Now let us see Kiran's chart, the husband's chart. The data is May 21, 1974, 15:58, that is 3:58 p.m. Indian Standard Time, again Bangalore, India, 77 East 35, 12 North 59. Both of them are born in Bangalore. Both of them are from Bangalore. I think both of them are from the same street also.
No.
Not true. Okay. I'm just guessing. No.
Super.
Yeah.
1984.
1980. Okay. Not 84. 2004. 1984. He was 30 years old. So he got married on. Can anybody guess the date? February 1, 2004. Same date, of course. So he got married on that date. And now let us look at from Kiran's point of view, how things are. So 2003 May 22 to 2004 May 21. That is the dasha we are looking at. So let us look at the entry chart. Kiran was very systematic. He wrote down lot of working. Unfortunately, lot of planets were bad when he did the good bad analysis. Yes.
Yeah. In the objective and going strictly by rules, the
Yeah.
school was right. He came from the writer's side last week.
Yeah.
He said that if the planet is in one house, the eradication of one people, you may affect some.
Yeah.
So I think the side of effect was.
Okay. Bottom line is, there is some uncertainty and also it's not reliable. That's the bottom line. So, with that bottom line, let's leave that. And in the Ashtaka Varga, what did you find?
The Surya Chakra is in Cancer, and Cancer
Okay.
is the strongest sign.
Let us see the 1 second. Let's see the Ashtaka Varga. Oops. Okay. So, in this entry chart, I meant this. D9, yes. Okay.
Yeah, my the settings are used for Ashtaka Varga or the bonus section for Surya Chakra.
What?
Those two options are unchecked in
Yeah.
the differences.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had checked them. That's why
I
my
see.
scores are different from what.
Okay.
So Cancer stood out in those.
Okay, let us go through it. The
Can you say what is the problem that you're talking about in this time? You unchecked?
alt PCV.
Okay.
There is one definition, one setting that says reverse the Ashtaka Varga meaning as far as references are concerned. So that is only for research. And second thing is consolidate houses from differences rather than signs. So that also not to see the strengths of signs, but to see the overall strength of a house just in that particular chart, not to cross correlate different charts. So for that you better take signs only. Okay, now let us first do the objective analysis and then do the subjective analysis, which is more fun. So as far as the objective analysis is concerned, is there any planet that really stands out? Let's go through one of them one by one. Sun is in Aquarius, score of 4. Moon, Mars and Venus are in Cancer. The scores are 5, 4 and 3. And then Mercury is in Virgo, the score is 4. Saturn is in Scorpio, the score is 3. Jupiter is in Sagittarius, his score is 5. He is very strong in one house and also decent score, 5, very good. So Jupiter is really strong, he dominates. Who else? And Moon, of course, he is in one house with a score of 5. Moon and Jupiter are the strongest. And no planet is really particularly weak, like with a score of 2 or 1. So Jupiter and Moon dominate. So that is our inference. And then let us see the progress Lagna. First let us see the Lagna and then let us see the Chandra-Lagna and Surya-Lagna. So from Lagna, Aquarius is the Lagna. What are the combinations we see? Who are in the Lagna? Lagna Lord and 7th Lord are together in Lagna. Forget that they are Sun and Rahu, but Lagna Lord and 7th Lord in Lagna, can it show marriage? Like I was saying earlier, Lagna Lord and 7th Lord being in Lagna, 7th house, I was casually saying, you would expect something like that. In her case, it wasn't that strong, but it was still good enough, I said. And whatever I said was strong, happened in his case. But the planets are Sun and Rahu. What can you say based on it?
Seventh Lord is going into the Rahu's house.
Yeah?
That means that the spouse, other spouse.
Other spouse. You mean other person who is spouse, yeah. Yeah.
Like that is.
See, if you say something like that regarding anybody, it's safe. But with Kiran, both husband and wife are in this room. So you can't mess with your work. You can't use it loosely. Don't say other spouse, yeah.
I mean the planet. The sun being in seventh house.
Sun being in
seventh Lord in Lagna.
Yeah.
And sun, that is not a smooth transition.
That is not a?
Nice place. Why not seventh Lord in Lagna?
The sign is not good. So basically now, what you can conclude is, from Lagna you see, from Sun you see the opportunities presented. From Moon you see how the person feels about the opportunities. And from Lagna you see the actions taken. The actions taken by Kiran relating to dharmic life during the year. So 7th Lord being in Lagna means he can decide to get married and he can get married during the year. But 7th Lord is uncomfortably placed in an inimical house, that too Aquarius with Rahu. It can show several possibilities. There are negative possibilities are also possible. But a positive possibility that is possible is, if 7th Lord is in Lagna, it shows of course wife coming to the person, spouse coming to the person, spouse being attached to the person, etc. But he is in inimical house with Rahu. It can show wife having to travel abroad. So the 7th Lord basically is in Lagna. So whatever actions he takes will basically force the other person to take action, which is to travel to a foreign country. In other words, if you take the 7th house as Lagna, you will see the actions taken by the spouse. So then Lagna Lord is going into 7th house with Rahu. So wife will embark on a long journey to a foreign land. Rahu will show foreign countries, 7th house will show foreign travel. So for wife there is a foreign travel as a result of the marriage. So that is one of the possibilities. There are other possibilities, but that is one of the possibilities, and probably that is the right possibility in this particular case. After marriage, wife had to come to a faraway country. Now, apart from it, who is in the 7th house? Yes, because 7th Lord and Lagna Lord are together giving a Rajyoga, that too in Lagna, marriage is definitely possible. But 7th house also has to be reasonably strong. Who is in the 7th house? Somebody who pulls it down or somebody who pushes it out? Ketu. Ketu is the secondary karka of marriage. Especially if marriage is not just for sensual pleasures, which is given by Venus, but marriage is for kulasya unnati, increasing the family. Having a family, then having children, and then growing the family. That is the purpose of marriage. Then Ketu is the karka. So the Ketu is in the 7th house. So this whole combination, it can show that the person will get married during this year for the growth of family, for dharmic reasons. So that is one thing. Now let us see the Chandra Lagna. How the person feels. The opportunity is given to the person, how he reacts to those opportunities. So from Gemini, how are various planets? How is the Lagna Lord? He is exalted in the 4th house. So does he feel excited about marriage? Very happy and excited and relaxed finally? Yes. That he is exalted in the 4th house of Sukha. For both actually 4th Lord is exalted from the Chandra Lagna. So both are excited. Both are excited. Oh, finally we are getting married. Now look at the 7th house. How is the 7th house? Excellent. Jupiter is in Moola Trikona, in one house. So 7th house is very strong. So you don't have to look at other things anymore. Just those two strong planets, Mercury and Jupiter, can show happiness, comfort, marriage, etc. during the year. Now, now Surya Lagna. But that nimitta would have been more helpful if we were making predictions. We already know what happened. We are analyzing it. So nimitta is useless. Now look at cancer. See, for example, yesterday somebody came to my house. He went back, his wife went back to India. And he is also going back to India in a few months. Actually, he was thinking of a year, but now he is bored because his wife is not here, wife and kids. So he is going back. So I was looking at the chart. I said, probably these are the 2 months when you will leave and find a job in India. He said, I'm not sure, but actually that period is possible. He was thinking a little later, but now he is thinking. So he may go. And then I looked at the next few years. He asked me, will I be happy in India or not the next few years? I was looking at the next few years. And I stumbled on 2007 annual TP chart. In that chart, the ruler of the year is exalted in the 12th house with the 12th lord. The Lagna is Taurus. The ruler of the year is Sun. He is exalted in Aries along with the 12th lord Mars. And also the Jalapatana Sahamam is close to them. And they have a very close yoga. And Jalapatana Sahamam is with them. And also there are other things. The 9th lord is with Rahu. There are other combinations. So I was immediately thinking, oh, this guy is settling in India, but it looks like he will come back in 2007. So I was thinking, probably I should tell him that you may go, but you will come back in a couple of years. You will finally end up in America again. I was thinking of telling him exactly at that moment a phone rang. So then I immediately told him, you are probably coming back, you are not settling there. He said that is possible for citizenship or other things, we may come back. We are not very sure. But we want to settle in India. He is not very sure now. But there is then he told me that there is actually a chance. He said that is also one of the plans. So when you are making a prediction like that, you are thinking, you are not very sure, but you are thinking along some lines. And based on the common sense that you know, it may not seem very likely, but chart shows it likely. And then the phone rings. Then it is useful. But now we are destroying what happened in the phone rang. Pardon me? Reconfirmation that it happened.
No, it's the reconfirmation both were excited.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Good. So both of them were excited. We are not saying now. We don't know the real chart. But at that time, both of you were excited.
And
From Cancer, Surya Lagna. What are the opportunities given by the world to them?
the Lagna is Nora,
Yeah?
and both Lord Venus.
Yeah? What are the important combinations from here? There is a Rajoga in Lagna. The Lagna Lord, the 4th Lord, the 5th Lord. All of them are together. So it shows the blessings of Vishnu. If the 4th and 5th Lords are together, it shows the blessings of Vishnu. So during this year, there will be blessings of Vishnu in terms of dharmic life. So looking at all the indications, looking at the Surya, Chandra and Lagna, we see there are reasonable indications that the person may get married. So more than her chart, when you see this chart, it becomes even more clear. So when you see this, you can be reasonably confident that marriage is possible during this year. Now the question is, it was supposed to occur in October, but it didn't. Is that what you said? Yeah. October 19 was supposed to be the marriage date, but it somehow did not materialize.
We want to go to the monthly chart.
Of course we want to, because we don't have a dasha to subdivide this year. The only thing we have is Antardasha. So let us do that. October 19, 2003, he was supposed to get married, but for some reason it didn't happen. So let us see the Antardasha that was running then. Okay. Yeah, October 19. So September 24 to October 24.
This is like part of something major in
Yeah.
the other years. So
Yeah.
we will be able to see it in the whole also.
That there will be obstacles in getting married.
But we only see very good nice yoga, but we don't see
That was
Actually, I brought that up in, like, if you see
Okay, anybody can see, we saw a lot of good yogas, but can anybody show any bad yogas also?
Seventh Lord Jupiter is from Surya Lagna.
Yeah. Not Surya Lagna, let us see the Lagna itself. If you see the Lagna, from Lagna, which is basically using the opportunity by the person. So if you see Lagna, first of all, Surya and Rahu are together, it's a yoga, but it's an uncomfortable yoga. And second of all, even though Lagna Lord and 7th Lord have a yoga, the 6th house is quite strong. From the Lagna Chakra, the 6th house has Mars, Venus and Moon. When the, pardon me? From Lagna Chakra, from Aquarius. So when the 6th house is very strong, what would that mean? It shows obstacles to be overcome. It shows obstacles. If marriage already happened, it shows separation. It shows putting off the marriage. So the strength of the 6th house, and also Karaka Venus is in Manakaraka Sthana in the 6th house. So that is a negative combination. As a matter of fact, based on that, you cannot be actually confident about predicting marriage. But if you look at the Surya Chakra and if you look at the Chandra Chakra also, based on those, there are very strong chances. Especially based on Chandra Chakra, there are very, very strong indications. Yeah. The thing is, you have to balance all the factors. And when you balance, it does seem good. When you look at all the three chakras, Lagna, Surya and Chandra, it does look good. But there are negative factors. And if you are looking at individual months, then you can see how various months are. So if you see, yeah,
Even in the
annual chart,
from Sun, if you take it, the
Yeah.
3rd and 6th houses are having a nice benefit there.
yeah,
Maybe some initiative is less or something like that, like Mercury is exalted and Jupiter is and so on.
I won't think so. My reading would be if there are benefits in the 3rd and 6th house, he will be given the opportunity of not really fighting. There will not be really much need to fight. There will not be much need to have lot of initiative, have lot of fighting, etc. Things will relatively easily happen.
Maybe the February, I'd like to
Yeah.
inform what happened.
Yeah.
My visa had expired and and I had heard various stories that people will go for exchange of visa will get rejected.
Yeah.
So I decided to play it safe, and I informed very in advance saying I need to have a sufficient buffer. I could not take more than 2 vacations.
Yeah.
I had to have 4 weeks of buffer, so I informed them very in advance saying I may be able to come for 2 weeks, but I may not be able to return back to the US.
Mm-hmm.
And product deadlines were so high.
You need to take a long trip, right?
Yeah, it had to be a long trip.
Yeah, so the 12th is in the 10th.
The 12th what?
The Sun is in the 10th house.
Okay.
And Sun is probably the 10th house.
Mm-hmm.
Slows things down.
Any other point?
8,000 houses, product of family,
Yeah.
it's in 8,000.
Yeah.
Sudden change could happen as far as family is concerned, and it is
Okay.
So the
From Lagna, because this is more than Surya Lagna. This is mostly relating to Lagna. It is his action that delayed it.
but that's presented by some unknown thing like
Right, but still it is his judgment of the situation and his decision to play it safe that caused it. So, pay importance to Lagna. So if you look from Lagna Chakra, it is basically Aquarius. So see from Aquarius. What are the things that you see? From Aquarius, like I said earlier, first of all it is Rahu, Sun, it's a very uncomfortable Raj Yoga. Rahu. So Rahu's affliction of 7th Lord Sun is what can delay the marriage. And Rahu does show some immigration concerns, etc. So that is one aspect. And the second aspect is, like I said, any delay in marriage during that particular year has to have a link with the 6th house. 6th house is quite strong here. 6th house is delay of marriage, separation, etc. And also having to overcome obstacles. So sixth house is a very important house. And who are the planets in the sixth house? It is basically those reasons. Those are the planets who delay things, who cause delay in the marriage. Which lords are there? Third, fourth, ninth, 10th and 6th. Sixth house. Sixth house of service, work, and then 10th lord is again the career. So 6th and 10th lords together, so that shows service, career, job. So job related concerns and Venus. Venus is the most important. Why? Because he is Karaka is in the 6th house approximately. He is the lord of a particular house, which makes him very important. See, in the Dusthanas, any planet in Dusthanas can cause delays, worries, etc. But particularly there is Venus owns 9th house. What is 9th house for a Sthira Lagna? Badhaka, that's the word I am looking for. Venus is Badhaka Lord. What will Badhaka Lord show? Sudden worries. Worries that may not have a reason. Sudden, unexpected, inexplicable kind of worries. So Badhaka Lord Venus, the 9th Lord, 9th house of immigration, that is also Badhaka Sthana here. The Badhaka Lord in the 6th house can show some inexplicable worries that will make him delay things. So it is that Venus is the main planet, and of course Mars and Moon. But Venus is the main planet. He is causing delay in the marriage during this particular year as an action by him. He is making him take certain decisions relating to delaying the marriage because of green card concerns, immigration concerns, career concerns, etc. Now, when he got married, when did you say you got married? February 1, right? February 1st. What was the Antardasha on that day? When he finally got married? First take from Leo. His action basically. Because he finally took the action of getting married. So taking Lagna, let us, for now, I want to finish in the next 2 minutes. So let us just focus on Lagna Chakra. You can see others later. From Lagna Chakra, is there a chance of getting married during this year? Anybody? Lagna Lord Sun is in the 7th house with who? In 7th Lord Saturn and Karaka Venus. Is that perfect or what? Like we discussed earlier, Lagna Lord and 7th Lord in Lagna or 7th house is a perfect combination. That to the Karaka of marriage. Venus is joining them. So it's just perfect. So there is you don't have to look at other things now. Just that combination of planets itself is very auspicious. And I told you earlier, planets who show marriage in the annual chart, if they again come to the front in a monthly chart, event happens. And the planets in the annual chart, if you remember, who were the planets who showed marriage? Sun and Rahu and Aquarius and Leo. Those were the signs and planets. They are coming to the front again. Sun is the planet. Lagna Lord going into the 7th house in Aquarius, that too, same sign. So there is a very strong chance of marriage during this year. And on the other hand, go back to October 19. Look at September 24 to October 24 monthly chart. The progress Lagna is Aries. Look from Aries. Do you see any strong chances of marriage? Are there any links between the Lagna Lord and 7th Lord? There is. Venus is the 7th Lord, Mars is the Lagna Lord, they are both aspecting each other. So there is a yoga, but it's not happening on 1st house, 7th house or some important house. Venus is actually reasonably strong in the 2nd house. If the 7th Lord is in the 2nd house, it can give marriage. But Mars is in the 8th house. The Lagna Lord Mars is in the 8th house. It is not conducive. And moreover, the planets involved here are Mars, Venus and Moon. The planets who are giving a yoga for marriage in this particular monthly chart are Mars, Moon and Venus. Do you remember what role they play in the annual chart? They play a role of delaying. They are in the 6th house. The same planets are the planets here who show getting married. Lagna Lord and 7th Lord are aspecting each other, Samasaptaka. So there is a yoga which shows getting married. But those planets in the annual chart show delay in the marriage. So during this month there can be talk of marriage, but those planets do not have the capability of giving that event. In the annual chart, their agenda is to push the marriage, to stop the marriage, to break the marriage. So planets with that agenda are told in this month, hey, this month looks good, get them married. And what will they do? They will create situations, but they will postpone it. On the other hand, if you look at February, January to February month, we saw that the same planet who was showing marriage, he was suggesting marriage. So even though he was in an inimical house, still he gave marriage because it was consistent with his annual agenda. So when the natal agenda coincides with annual agenda, the things happen during that year. When the annual agenda coincides with the monthly agenda of a planet, during that month event will happen. So this should be an important point relating to the linking between the annual charts and monthly charts. It's a very important point. So on that note, I want to end the class here. Anybody else finish the homework? Only these three? Oh, you did.
I attempted, but I didn't finish it.
What is the proof? The proof is in the pudding. Where is the pudding? Yeah. Palni also did his homework, but he didn't even write it down. It's in his brain. There is no Arudha, but Satya is there. Okay. With that I will end, but you have a long time to do the homework. So everybody take one event in your chart and send out a mail. Use the format that Kiran used, for example. He used a nice format. So in the same format, everybody finish your homework and send it to the SAC Boston list. So after 3 weeks, we will meet again on October 9 plus 14, 23. On October 23, 9 o'clock or 9:15 we will meet and we will continue the discussion with more homework. Yes, Palani? Oh, they are not stored? Why not?
Yeah, I will check that.
Make sure that there is an archive.
I will make sure that they are.
If we lost a few minutes, that's fine, but in future, make sure that there is an archive.
Yeah, we will do that, and also we will disable the SJP dash Boston so that there is no confusion in future.
Okay. Okay. So have a nice 3-week period without the classes, and I will see you all at the workshop, and you are all most welcome at the Chandi Home. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sorry, sir.